All right, we're here with head women's basketball coach Michelle Bento-Jackson, just kind of previewing the last weekend of the regular season for women's basketball. They traveled down south to go face Cal State San Marcos and Cal State LA on Thursday and Saturday. First, coach, starting off, just kind of give us kind of a recap of the weekend. Obviously, the results we didn't want, and just the last weekend at home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, obviously we wanted to give a good showing as we always do, but let alone in our home arena and in front of our fans. And once again, we fell up short. We fell up short on both occasions, and now we have to try to refocus. And there's nothing at stake, so to speak. And as I told the girls, we have everything to gain and nothing to lose going into these last two games on the road, and just trying to put our good product out on the floor.
And talking about that, kind of, what is the mentality? Obviously, it's you do have nothing left to lose at this point in the season. Going down south, a couple teams that are getting ready to go prepare for the playoffs. Do you kind of take that as, hey, let's play a bit of spoiler this weekend. Let's see if we can mess up anybody's plans in terms of seeding and first round matchups, things like that?
I don't know if it's so much that as it is just play with pride. Remember why you love this game and play with pride. And I think at this point in the season, when there is nothing at stake and we're not playing for anything, I think that's that's the best message I could give the girls right now is just self-pride and play for each other on these last two games. Not so much what we could or could not do to our two opponents. It's more about us.
Awesome. And then going into the San Marcos game, what are going to be the key takeaway? The keys going into that game? I know one of the big discussions we've had throughout the season is you need to get people uncomfortable in the defensive end. San Marcos is a team that when they came up here earlier in the year, you played them very close, and it wasn't the outcome, and you played them really well. What is it you're looking from that last matchup you had with them and looking into this one? What is it you're trying to retain from that last matchup?
Right, yeah, I actually think the San Marcos game was one of our best, or our most complete games this season. And in looking back on film, I mean, there's going to be some adjustments, obviously, that we make going into this game. They're very, they're a high-quality team. They're extra good when they're on their home court. But again, you go in with just a carefree attitude with nothing to lose, and just the competitive juices in you as a basketball player. That's what I'm hoping to get out of our group.
And then LA on Saturday to close out the season. Like you said earlier, they have one of the best three-point shooters in the conference. They're really good at spreading the perimeter. What keys are you looking for in that game, just from a strategic standpoint, to try to just make them as uncomfortable as possible?
Right. Well, obviously, as always, we have to execute on the defensive end and take people out of their strengths. Nicole Flanell, who you're mentioning, is certainly one of the best three-point shooters in the conference, but LA, to me, presents they're a physical team. They're a grimy team. They're going to get after it defensively. It's going to be their senior day on their court. And again, our two opponents this week are, they're still playing for a lot. And so we just have to, we really have to put some things to the side as far as the reason why we're out there playing and just give it our best shot.
Awesome. That's all I got.
Coach, I know you kind of mentioned that maybe it's just about team approach, but I mean, I do just want to say with the San Marcos game, with them being ranked and with the fact you played them really tough on the home floor, I mean, just how much would that mean maybe to this team to be able to come away here at the tail end of the season with potentially an upset of a ranked opponent?
Well, the hope is first of all, you don't always get opportunities to play ranked teams, and we should be happy about that, that we have those opportunities. And hopefully the fact that we did play them so close here in our home court gives our group some confidence, number one. And secondly, obviously to want to come out with a different outcome this Thursday night. And so we'll see what the group does. And
just one other question is just with it being the tail end, I know we kind of talked a little bit in the post-game presser about, what do you look for? But I am just curious again, what do you think you could see maybe in these final two games that really is something that maybe hopefully you can carry over into next season as far as ending on a high note or a positive? What are things that maybe you could see that would really feel like things that might resonate as far as moving forward?
Right, and that is kind of where the thoughts go, whether it be younger folks, playing as far as just looking at the future. But we're still looking for the core group and who meshes well together, and it's been different every night for us, whether it be some people because they're out playing or not. But we just have to, really come into this week with the mindset of trying to be better for next year. And even this week of practice, it's tough to motivate a group when they know that there's nothing that we're playing for. And that's why I go back to pride and still trying to execute things on the defensive end this week in practice. And I just have to get the team prepared as much as we always do and be ready for Thursday night.
Got it. Thank you, Coach.
And obviously, you want to be in the playoffs at this time of year, and it's a struggle to not be playing for anything. But is there anything that, any sort of positive to, you can just focus on being a better basketball team? Does that make it any easier at this stage of the season, just to focus on what you're doing?
We have to complete these 2 games this week, and then obviously, as I do every year, just really reevaluate a lot of different things in the off season and reevaluate this season and where did I go wrong as a coach? Where did I not lead possibly in the right ways? And there's just so many things that I need to self-reflect on how I can get this team better because we do have everybody returning. I mean, we didn't have any seniors on our roster this year, and so there's a lot of thought that's going to go into this off season on how we can get better for next year.
And does that kind of help motivate the team at all, knowing that it's going to be the same team, knowing that everybody's returning? Does that kind of just bring extra motivation to we can be better next year?
I mean, I certainly hope so. I went into this year, with so many new players on the team and really nobody really understanding what it takes to win at this level. And from a commitment standpoint, from a work ethic standpoint, from an intensity standpoint, and all my years of coaching, it's usually that first year, and I'm going to say this year as being a first year considering we had 11 new players, is really instilling those things into our team. So I thought we would be decent this year and really have a chance to be a much better team next year. And we still fell short this year in too many categories, and that's where I really got to evaluate, myself and how I could have done things better. But hopefully the intangible things of what it takes to win, the importance of a scouting report, the importance of spending extra time in the gym, those are all intangible things that we really hope to instill with this group this year.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.